Hey, so nobody's listening to your music. Like you put it out months ago, and your streams are low. Um, and we can have a conversation about streaming anyway. But your streams are low, your engagement is low. You're just not really taking the type of ground you want to take, and you're trying to figure out why. You thought you had a banger on your hands. You made a song that you really wanted to make. You put it out the way that you really felt um, was the best way to put it out, and you're like, well, what do I have to show for it? Because it's like nobody. I spent all this time on it. I spent hours editing and making sure this was right and making sure that was right. It's like nobody cares about my music, and I want to tell you that it might be true. Nobody actually cares about what you got. But one of the reasons that nobody cares about what you got is because nobody knows what you've got. Let me explain. So, the law of visibility is that the more visible you are to the more amount of people, it increases the probability of those people paying attention to what you have to offer, right? You don't get to be down on yourself because nobody's listening to the thing you put out and you haven't really. Here's what you did: you put it on music streaming platforms, and then you made one post about it, maybe two, and that's all you've done to make sure that your music was out there. When that is not the actual best way to go about putting music out there. Ask me how I know, because I have failed at that because of that before. Only putting the music out and posting it once or twice or to a couple of platforms. Well, I posted to multiple platforms, and so I really posted like 4 times. Yeah, but you only posted the one post on those platforms, and so if you know about algorithms, you've got to hit a jackpot a lot of the times with the algorithm to actually be able to you know shoot up like that and have people actually want to purchase or stream your thing. Now I say purchase because I am more on the side of making sure that people can directly purchase music, and I honestly believe that one of the issues that we have is putting stuff on streaming platforms because we feel like the streaming platform is supposed to do the work for us, and that's not the case. Where if it's out and it's distributed, do you know how much money is on how much music is on Apple Music? Do you know how much music is on Amazon Music, on Spotify, on all these other platforms? Do you know exactly how much is out here? What makes you think that you're going to be just miraculously found by the right 2 people, 10 people that will shoot your song up the charts? No, it may work like that 1 in 2 million. But I would suffice to say, if you're going to actually take ground and make the type of impact in people's lives that you are desiring to make as a musical artist, you're going to have to be more intentional about putting yourself out there as an artist. All right. So you're going to actually have to position your musical projects in front of people on a more consistent basis. That means that you may have to, y'all not gonna like this, run paid ads, right? You might have to run some paid advertising promotions. We got TikTok. You can promote stuff. You meta ads or whatever the case may be. YouTube, I think, does it as well. But you're gonna have to. You may have to invest in your own musical artistry before anyone else does, right? And honestly, you are gonna have to invest into your own musical artistry before everyone else does. All right. So if you want it before more people, you've got to be more intentional about taking it before more people. And some of the way that you're going to take it before more people is you're going to have to travel without actually going anywhere. You're going to have to pay travel fees without actually leaving your house. How do you do that? You do that through paid ads. You're paying for your music, your song, your video that is talking about your music, or whatever the case may be, you're paying for that to travel where it would not travel before. All right, think of it literally as a travel fee. It is you investing to make sure that your voice, that your music is heard in places that your feet may not be going yet. And I do say yet because there will be some places that you do this, and it will be the catalyst to your feet actually stepping foot um, into those particular spaces. It's almost I don't know. It's almost prophetic, if you will, to the places that you will go. You are sending in a realm of investment. You're sending your voice. There's a story in the scriptures about how Jesus was on his way somewhere, and one of the people. I'm butchering the story, but I'll have it in its fullness. I promise I know the Bible, but all in all, the person he wanted somebody healed or whatever the case. I don't know if it was his son or his daughter or what it was. And Jesus was running behind a little bit. I wonder if this is this the centurion? I know the story. I just in any case, um, Jesus basically, the person's whoever it was, child or whatever, died, and the guy says to Jesus, well, you don't have to worry about coming X Y Z, or something to that degree, like you don't even have to go with me, basically. You don't have to go, something like that. Uh, this is horrible. I want to get this story. Hold on. I am a man under authority. I promise you, I know what the story is. Matthew 8. Okay, cool. Um, so this is in Matthew 8, right? I didn't plan to talk about this particular story, but um, I'm gonna pull it up because it speaks to this whole concept, right? So it says when trying to get this version to pop up. All right, when he came down from the mountain, great multitudes followed him. Behold, a leper came to him and worshipped him, saying, "Lord, if you want to, you can make me clean." Right. This is the story before that, but let's get Bible anyway. Maybe you didn't read your Bible today. Um, so Jesus stretched out his hand and touched him, saying, "I want to, so be made clean." And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. Jesus said to him, "See that you tell nobody, but go show yourself to the priest and offer the gift that Moses commanded as a testimony to them." All right. When he came to Capernaum, a centurion came to him, asking him for help, saying, "Lord, my servant," that's what it is, "lies in the house paralyzed, grievously tormented." Jesus said to him, "I will come and heal him." This is what the centurion said. He answered, "Lord, I'm not worthy for you to come under my roof. Just say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I am also a man under authority, having under myself soldiers. I tell this one, go, and he goes. I tell another, come, and he comes. And tell my servant, do this, and he does it." When Jesus heard it, he marveled and said to those who followed him, "Most certainly I tell you, I haven't found so great a faith, not even in Israel. I tell you that many will come from the east and the west and will sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom will be thrown out into other darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." Jesus said to the centurion, "Go your way, let it be done for you as you have believed." The centurion believed in that hour. Now, I can pull a few principles out of this, but I'm not preaching a sermon. I just wanted to tell you that your word can go before you, your sound can go before you into spaces that you may or may not ever touch. That was literally the whole point of that. I butchered the scripture at first. I had to go find it. But your sound will travel before you do, and here it is. Sometimes that takes paid advertising. Paid advertisement is your friend, and It ain't even gonna take you that much. Just set aside $30 out your next paycheck, $40 maybe. Use TikTok. That's one of the fastest ways, I think. But use Meta, whatever. Set aside some time. You've got to budget. You've got to budget for prosperity. I hate to sound like that, but you've got to budget for prosperity. If your stuff is going to prosper, if it's going to succeed, you've got to set aside time, energy, and money in order to make sure that it does. So you got to budget your money, you got to budget your time, you got to budget your energy. You've got to make sure that you are setting aside the right stuff. You got to set aside the right amount of all of those things in order for the things that you have on the table to succeed, in order for your musical career to go where it needs to go. You've got to budget correctly. You've got to prepare. You've got to set aside things so that you can prosper, right? Got to budget for prosperity. Got to budget for prosperity. All right. This is one of the hugest ways. This is one of the main reasons nobody is listening to your music, because they don't know it exists, fam. If no one hears it, they can't listen. Come closer. If no one hears it, how will they listen? Hearing, the recognition of sound, versus listening, the investment of the ear into said sound, right? If they don't hear it, they can't listen to it. And if they don't listen to it, they can't invest further into it, because they'll never know, they'll never recognize how good it is. When they hear it, they might recognize something that causes them to stand at attention and then intentionally listen. As they intentionally listen, they start to like it, they start to appreciate it, they start to prefer it, and then they start to search out for more like it from you. Wait a minute, I like this, I like his voice, I like her voice, I like the arrangement, I like the background vocals, I like the message, I like the lyrics, I like the overall arrangement and everything. I gotta hear some more music from them, right? This is what causes for people to invest into your music. This is what causes them to dive deeper and immerse themselves in your musical catalog. But you've got to do the due diligence of making sure that they're able to hear what you've actually presented. They may not be able to hear everything. I don't, I have a music monetization masterclass where I teach you certain principles about um, certain realms of access to your musical catalog. And if you want access to that, we can get you that. It's below in the description, right? Just search for the music monetization link under the in the description, right? And we can get that settled. But they've got to be able to hear something from you in order to want to immerse themselves into your musical catalog. You're not going to get a loyal listener. You're not going to get a faithful follower if you don't ever position yourself to be heard by them, right? Heard and seen, really, but heard by them. It's about positioning. It's not about begging. It's not about pleading. It's not about any of that. It's about proper positioning. How you position yourself as an artist will make all the world's difference to how well you do as it pertains to invested listeners. Most of your battle is going to be presentation. Now, on the tail end, now you've got to actually have some quality content. Let's be clear about that, because we can't just be out here giving people stupidity. We can't be out here giving people mess, because they're not going to lock into that. They're not going to want to invest in that. They're not going to want to immerse themselves in that. So you got to make sure your content is quality. You got to make sure that your message is hitting. You got to make sure that your music is hitting its intended target. What is its intended target? The mission of your music should be a people group and a problem that is being solved or addressed within that people group. right? Now, I'm not saying you got to park out in the same people group for every single song. I'm not saying that. Maybe your artistry is for multiple people groups, and that's okay. Maybe you will write songs that hit multiple, but you have to know within a project, within a song, within a whole album, within an EP, whatever, within a performance, who you are speaking to and what you are speaking to in them: problems, pains, passions, pleasures, right? Problems, pains, passions, and pleasures. If you can adequately speak to those areas in people, man, they will literally, like, they will wear your song out to the point where people are tired of hearing it whenever they get in their car. You will have you will have nothing but impact. You hear me? Nothing but great impact because you pulled up to make sure that you were actually hitting your intended target musically. You are actually addressing people at the core of their hearts, actually addressing people in the issues of their soul, actually addressing people to ignite their passion, accurately and adequately addressing people, um, in order to, I don't even want to say capitalize on their pleasures, but almost like to get them to remember what a pleasurable experience is like. You know what I mean? Some people, you addressing their pleasures will address their pain, because sometimes they have to be reminded that they actually have. But some people are so, like, immersed in their problems and pain that they need the extra pull from what they are used to wallowing in. And for some of them, that's what, that's what your music will be. That's what your song will be. That's what your project will do for them. It'll pull them out of what they're so used to contemplating, what they're so used to talking about. They're used to saying, if it ain't one thing, it's another. They're used to looking at never having enough. They're used to looking at always being in relational trauma and drama. They're used to that, to the point where they don't even remember a time where it wasn't that, where they can't imagine. Here's one of your key responsibilities. Key. Do you love? I'm sorry. One of your key responsibilities is to also I can say that, reignite the imagination of a people, right? Reigniting the imagination of a people to believe that better is possible, right? Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit. Your song. I'm in the middle of pinning something right now. Um, I don't care. It's called options, right? And what options is, I literally got options. If you watch the Music Monetization Masterclass, I was literally in the middle of the masterclass, and I don't know what happened. I don't know how we got there. It was just like options hit me out of nowhere, and I was just like, options. We got options, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute. We might keep that. And but if you watch it, you'll see the exact moment it hit me, and I I've parked out almost immediately, and then I unpacked what it looks like to, identify the mission of a song, right? So options is a song for, it's geared to reach and to touch those who really feel like they, as like, it seems too simple, but it just is that, who feel like they don't have options, who have felt like they have to go a particular route, or else nothing else is going to be worth anything. Like, they haven't had You know how you have so much scarcity? It's like, well, this is the only thing I can do. You're settling. It's people that's used to settling and just settling for whatever can be instead of having options about what could be, right? Right? And so Options is a song that's geared to reignite, honestly, the imagination of those who have felt like they have none. It's a song that's intended to, here's a word, prophesy to them. It almost stands as a prophetic song for them, where they will be able to speak that which is not now in their lives, but what I really do believe is the intentions of God for their life, that they have options. What do you mean? I mean, you can choose. Here it is today. Today, you can't even go halfway across the state because you don't have enough gas money, you don't have enough this for food to do it. You can't take a trip to the next city over and stay in a hotel for 3 nights if you wanted to. You don't have options. I want them to know that in the coming days, what you're gonna do is you're gonna have so much choices, so many options. You're gonna be trying to choose, like, where are we going for vacation for our first vacation this year? Not just the vacation of the year. No, our first vacation this year. We got about 2 or 3 vacations to go on this year. We can go on 2 or 3 if we wanted to. That's options, right? And that's a song I'm literally in the process of putting together. And so it speaks to the reigniting of the imagination. That song is not going to flop. Trust me. Now we can come back in about two weeks. I'm gonna complete this thing. I believe I'm gonna complete this thing by tomorrow's end. If I can have my way, I'll complete this song by tomorrow's end, and I'll have it out by Friday. And see, won't it come with all sorts of things with it? Oh no, we got options. Please believe. Options. We got options. Right? And here's why it's not going to flop and it's not going to sell low numbers, because I'm going to effectively address a particular people. I'm going to effectively address a particular subject matter that is concerning those people, dealing with either their pain, their problems, their passions, or their pleasures. I'm gonna communicate this. One, my motives are pure. I just want them to believe again. My message is going to be clear. You're going from not having options to having options. And the musical content is going to be fire. Why? Because we're going to do it. We're going to make sure it is. And nothing God gives you is bad. I believe God gave me the song. So nothing God gives is bad. He's the all-consuming fire, so my song can be fire. You hear me? Huh? Elijah called down fire from heaven to consume the sacrifice. Why can't fire envelop my song? If my song is my obedience to God, then why can't the fire of God come upon that song? Woo wee! I'm sorry. I'm kidding. Christian musical artists, hear me. What's the difference? Well, that just sounds worldly. It sounds like you talking about no. You can say it sounds worldly, but God's plan. Name me, was Abraham broke? That's all I want to know. At the end of it all, was Joseph broke? Was Joseph even broke? Joseph wasn't even broke when he. Before he was starting to think that family was pretty okay, right? I'm not saying whatever. What did God say to the to his people? Jeremiah 29. For I know the thoughts I have for you, plans I have for you. They're for good and not evil. To prosper. Give you your future, an expected end. Right now, the context of that was in lieu of their captivity that he had assigned them to. But at the end of the day, the reality is the same. God wants us to prosper. I believe it was Paul. He said, "I would that you would prosper and be good be in good health, even as your soul prospers." Right. So I got options. Has nothing to do. It's not a attempt to make people money hungry. No, people are in real need right now, and they can't even choose what they want to eat for dinner. And I'm not telling them to stress about it either. That's the kicker, because Matthew 6 says, don't worry about this stuff, because this is the stuff that unbelievers worry about. Don't you know that your Father takes care of you? So if you'll seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then every other thing you've been worried about, it will be added to you. You don't have to worry. The Bible then says, it picks it up and say, in the next verse, Jesus says, and don't be anxious for tomorrow. What are we gonna eat tomorrow? What are we gonna do this with tomorrow? How are we gonna pay our rent? I ain't gonna do this. It don't matter. It matters, but it don't matter. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added. Here it is. Be anxious for nothing. Over in, I think it's Philippians. But and everything with prayer, thanksgiving, make your request known to God or something like that. Then it says, right? Simplest terms, don't worry, pray. Don't worry, seek him. Right? So options has nothing to do with it. It ain't about a money grab. It's not about having people grab for money. It's a song detailing a future reality, a present reality that is to come in their lives. The desire of God is for you to have options. What car are you going to drive? The point of some of these options, I'm in a weird mode, but that's okay. The point of some of these options then comes in the form of what you seek God now for. Because now you have options. What's this? Now you have options, and you're going to have to use wisdom. Options still make you need God. God will allow you and give you options, and then he will open up a world of options just so you can seek him for the best one. So at the end of the day, it still leads back to him. So that's why look, options is gonna be fire. Like I said, it's gonna be a fire song. We're gonna do the thing. It's gonna be cool. But all in all, what I'm telling you is, and I want you to be on the lookout for it. Friday. I will have this song out by Friday. You hear me? I'm not waiting. This song will be out Friday. Y'all gonna hear options. It's gonna be on somebody's something, and it's gonna have a whole lot of extra stuff extra to it. Probably. I see merchandise and everything, dog. That's how clear my vision is with that song. Options. I got options. We got options is the actual thing. So yeah. But that when you address people's, you see how that flowed. You see how clear I am on the mission of that song. You see how clear I am on the background of how that song sits theologically. Here, as a Christian musical entrepreneur, a Christian musical artist who also is doing artistry as a career, that's what the Christian musical entrepreneur is. Your responsibility lies in that you have to know so intently the purpose behind your song and how it sits in the realm of God's intentions and his agenda. It doesn't mean options, we got options, may not include holy, holy, holy. It may not include I surrender all. Although I may write something to the lyric. But it may not include none of that. But the principal governing options is God. The principles are coming straight from heaven. And the highest heaven in it. Glory to God. The creator therein and thereof, rather. All right? And once you pull up to this, once you get that clear, and then you start presenting it, because here it is, here it is, here it is, here it is. When you understand what your mission is through that musical project, be it a song, be it a whole album or EP, and you understand how it is meant to impact people, and you understand what God's intentions are for people through it, what you then start doing is you start pushing it based on the fact that you want people to hear basically what God gave you for them. It's not about them hearing me. When I release options, it ain't gonna be about people hearing Corshad Covington's latest single name Options. It's gonna be about a people being able to hear something that will ignite their imagination, that will give them hope, that will help them believe again that better life is possible. Jesus said, I came, yes, sir. I came that you might have life and have it, what? More abundantly. That's all. That's it. So I'm going to absolutely push it. And one of the problems that we have is we don't even know why we put a song out. So, and we don't know why people would want to buy it. So we don't believe they will. We don't believe they'll want to stream it. So we don't push it. And your problem is if you never push it, if you never put it out for them to hear it, they can't listen to it. They can't be impacted by it. And you'll never know just how good or bad it is. You're not giving people a fighting chance to choose you, to choose to hear it. And then you want to call yourself a failure. You're not a failure because people aren't listening. You're a failure because you're not moving like someone who succeeded. If you put out a song that is meant to be out and you put it before the people, you have succeeded. Mission accomplished. The best thing you can do is invite people to invest their ear. You hear me? The best thing you can do is invite people to invest their ear. If they want to invest their ear into the song/songs that you have put out, then that is them accepting that invitation. But the best you can do is lay out the invitation. Guess what? Even Jesus himself, everyone that was invited to the table did not accept the invitation. You're no better than Jesus. Oh, you're not. He came preaching the message of the gospel of the kingdom. You wrote a song that should carry the message and the realities of the kingdom. As a Christian musical artist, that is. What did he say? He said a student is no greater than his teacher. If they hated me, you don't want that. They're gonna hate you. So if everybody didn't accept his invitation, what makes you think they're gonna accept yours? If everybody didn't want what he was offering, what makes you think that everybody's gonna want what you have to offer? You got to go into the thing knowing, hey, there's going to be a select few people. And depending on, the ins and outs of things, it may be a good number. Because, I mean, a good number of people believe Jesus, but it wasn't everybody. It wasn't 100% of the people that were in earshot of the message and even listened. Some listened and decided, yeah, nah. Even God had to tell people, in the day you hear my voice, harden not your heart. What is happening? That like, do you understand the ins and outs of this? You are no better. Stop. You are no better than that. And that's your example. You as a Christian, that's your example, right? Jesus is our example. Welcome. Nobody's listening. Yeah, they will. Jesus went and went. When I say he went and preached, he went and taught. He went and presented what he had. He went and demonstrated power. I'm not going there today, but I'm going to go there in another video later. He went. Woo! I feel something. He went. And your music, you have to go in some way, shape, or form. You have to know. You have to show up to more places in one way, shape, or form. In one way, shape, or form. So whether that's you are consistently showing up in open mic settings, whether you're consistently showing up on social media and actually pushing your stuff, whether you're consistently showing up, and again, one of those ways, like I talked about in the beginning, can be also paid advertisements. You can do paid ads. It doesn't make you less of an artist. It doesn't make you less of you feel like it has to be fully organic, and it just has to be, and people got to take it and share it. Have you not learned by now, the people that are surrounding you may not be the ones that are going to push your music and that are going to help you get to where you need to? They may not even support you like that. Your family and the people that you want to support you may not be the ones. Here's what Jesus said about that. Let's go with Jesus. Jesus said, a prophet is not without honor except in his own home, amongst his kin folk, amongst the people that are familiar. Jesus went where he was raised up, and he couldn't even do many miracles there because of their unbelief. So it might not be coming. That support you're looking for, it might not be coming from the people you think it should come from, or that you would like for it to come from. Well, I grew up with them, and and we hung out, and we were best friends from second grade all the way up past through our sophomore year in college, and I just feel like they should support me, and they should do that. It doesn't matter what you think about that. It really doesn't. The reality is this: sometimes the people most familiar with you will be the ones to dishonor the grace, because it is a grace of God that's on you, the grace of God, the gifting, the talent, the call, and the assignment of God on your life, and that of a musical artist. And I don't want you to miss the prophet term either, because some of you are actual prophets through music. God is using you musically as a prophet. Stop, and I mean stop. Close it. Girl, close it. Close the door. You can ask me in a minute. Praise the Lord. Nah, I don't know what just happened though, right there. Now forgive me. Yes, baby. Okay. Well, just tell her to give it back. Bug, give that guitar back, please. Give that guitar back. Give the guitar back. Wonderful parental things. Sweet Jesus. Children don't care. You hear me? Children do not care. This is one of the joys of doing this full time. But it is also one of the things about doing this full time. I need an office. I should get. I need to get an office. But I mean, I love having them here. I really do. I love being with them as much as I am. Yeah. But anyways, your support ain't gonna come from the places you might want your support to come from, and you're not entitled. You're not entitled to their support either. Go find or position yourself to be found by the people who actually want what you have to give, who actually need what you have to give, who actually will appreciate and respect and honor and invest in what you have to give musically. Simple as that. Stop trying to do this for people who it's not for. Your artistry, your sound, your music, your lyrical content, your messages, your mission is not for everybody. And everybody's not going to latch on. That's okay. It's all right. It's all right. I promise it's okay. But when you address adequately and accurately your people and address them in the subject matters, the issues of their heart that they need to be addressed in, you intentionally show up to do this, you will find like clockwork. And then there comes a point where you ain't even got to share the song no more because they're sharing the song. You got unpaid marketing employees at that point, and they will gladly invest their social media following, their social media network, their network in general in life. They will make sure your song is heard by other people. Oh my God, did you hear man, this spoke directly to me. Did you hear this? They gonna make sure. You hear me? They're gonna make sure of it. But you got to position yourself in front of these people. It's the only way. It's the only way. It's the only way. All right. So I've hollered at you enough for today, at least for this video. um, I, if you really want to go from not being listened to having a devoted set of loyal listeners, you've got to work these principles. You got to show up to the spaces where they are. Position yourself to be heard, right? Position yourself to be heard by the people that your music is meant for. And if you don't know who your music is meant for, then start to develop an understanding of who your music is meant for. Right? If you need help with that, I got you. I can work through that. We can schedule a one-on-one call. We can work through it project to project base if you want to. I have a mentorship cohort where we can just work through it in general, and so you would be a mentee of mine on a consistent basis, and so you could reach out to me. You could shoot me song ideas that you have, and if you want me to help you work through the ins and outs of developing an understanding about who the song is supposed to reach and what it is exactly supposed to speak to in them. All of that is available to you. Description below. All of that, those links. If you want to be mentored directly by me, that's below. And so, and the one-on-one calls as well below. All of that, but specifically, I would recommend. This is yeah. That's bad marketing. That's bad sales. I don't care. I don't even like being a sales. I don't like doing sales a lot of time. But but I do feel like this presentation of this particular solution for you is necessary. So I would recommend the mentorship because the value you get from the cohort and being able, and don't let cohort fool you. You will be inside of a group with other mentees, but you still have direct one-on-one access to me. So sometimes we hear cohort and they're like, well, I'm not going to get access like I want to. Well, also within the cohort, there is another inner circle cohort. There's an inner circle component to the mentorship where you literally that particular set of people, you you can literally schedule calls with me anytime. You literally can reach out to me anytime, schedule big calls, and we work on your music. I'm working with your musical production stuff, literally like your actual musical production if you need me, full blown songwriting assistance. All of that directly is included. And then again, I do that within the general cohort, but I still attach a small fee to it. It's a discounted fee than usual, but I want you to invest in the level that you need. And here it is. When you pull up to understanding that, because that's the whole point, I want you to understand who your people are and how you are called to impact them. If you can understand this, you might only need the mentorship for 2 months and you can pull out if that's what you so choose. But I desire to walk directly with you one way, shape, or form. And like I said, you have, no matter what tier of it you are in, you literally can access me whenever. You can DM me, you can text me, do the nine with that. So I want you to be able to know that that's available. Again, that's in the description below. You also get group coaching sessions as well as within the group coaching sessions, right? We'll have spots for mentorship moments within the general cohort. So that's another way that you get to navigate that and ask specific questions. So I mean, we have a lot of group coaching sessions. I like to pull up and do those frequently. So, we're not just, you're not getting a group coaching session a month. That's not what's going on. This is weekly, sometimes multiple times a week, where we're having group coaching sessions, and we'll set aside time for Q&A, which is also mentorship moments where you can personally ask me a question and I'll give you direction concerning that particular field, if I have a level of wisdom and knowledge on it. So, um, again, that's available to you below. Go ahead and sign up for the mentorship, um, and you'll see all that's available within that. I pretty much said all that, but you'll see everything, and I'll see you inside of the cohort if you so choose. But even if you don't, if you'll take the principles I gave you today, you will see that your entire approach, um, the success rate of your artistry will change because of this approach. Right. All right. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for listening. And if this helped, make sure to like, subscribe, to share, whatever you feel like doing. However you want to, you know, invest in this, and we'll go from there. So I appreciate you guys, and I see you guys on the next vid. All right, until next time, friends. Please, please, please stay inspired.